Hey guys, how you all doing? We hit 300k. I'm waving, but you guys can't see it. That's kind of crazy. All right, so anyway, since I thought we were hitting 300k soon, I asked you guys to ask some questions in the community sections on my YouTube channel, and we hit 300k recently, and a lot of you guys actually responded to this. So I got a whole 891 comments as I'm recording this right now. And it's been a long time since we did a Q&A. Some of you OGs might remember me doing one for, I can't even remember if it was 10k or 20k subs back in the day. But it's time. There's a lot of questions, new questions that we gotta answer. And I don't know how long this video is gonna be, because I haven't timed this, so I'm just going with the flow here. Alright, so it will be mainly me answering a bunch of you guys' questions, but whenever I feel like I could use some input from the other guys, I will drag them into a channel on Discord, and I will ask them a question or their opinions on the question, or whatever, really. We might get some opinions from them once in a while. Alright, so first up we have, I'm going to mispronounce a lot of you guys' names, but here it is. Aparatchithan KS asking a lot of questions. First one, what other genres other than strategy do you like? Well, that's a very good question, because you can actually see this on the YouTube channel. There's a lot of games that I play other than strategy. I really like first-person shooters, honestly. Like, I used to play a shit ton of Counter-Strike back in the day. Hell, I was a global elite. I love saying this, by the way. I was a damn global elite back in the day. Played a lot of Call of Duty back in the day. Modern Warfare 2, one of my, not childhood memories, but teenage years. Really like RuneScape. That's a really one. Not a genre in itself. I really like RuneScape, not the rest of the MMO genre, I guess, MMORPG. But yeah, first-person shooters, strategy games, sometimes also survival games, I guess, milsim games. It's really different what the types are, because a first-person shooter isn't necessarily that. Isn't necessarily realistic, but yeah, I like first-person shooter games. Oh, and I have the crime of sometimes getting addicted to FIFA, which you've also seen on the channel. There's a bunch of games that I'm interested in. I like a lot of games, but as IceP and Braun and many others would say, they say I am not a gamer because I don't play the very niche games that they talk about, like Metal Gear Solid. Never played that, for instance. I've gotten into Dark Souls, though. I think IceP's proud of me. I beat the dancers or whatever they're called in the first try. Now, the second question is, how did you guys meet? And you're specifically asking for Peef, Swimmy, Golden, Choking, and Braun. I'm not going to do them in the order that you asked for. I'm going to do them in the order that we met. So, Swimmy is the first of them all I met. It's over 10 years ago. I'm pretty sure it's 12 years to be exact. We met in a Darkest Hour, which is a mod for the game Red Orchestra 1, not the second one that everybody keeps asking me to play, where we both joined a realism unit in that game. It's essentially a milsim unit in that game. And that unit is where I met Swimmy, and we've been talking ever since. Eventually that unit collapsed, and me and Swimmy were drafted into another unit that was in, I'm pretty sure that was in Armor 2, or they were also in Red Orchestra. They were in Red Orchestra and Darkest Hour as well. But we also made the push into Armor and shit like that too at the same time, well, later on. Anyways, that's where Swimmy and I met people like Kepler and Schaefer. And that's basically how me and Swimmy met. Then the next person is Braun. And the first time I meet Braun, I'm pretty sure I have met Braun before this, but it's not really anything where I've noticed anything. So I'm going to go with the time where I notice him the most. It's in a game that we host. We hosted our Christmas EU4 games, as you guys might know, on the Twitch stream these days. That is a tradition that we've brought over for the realism units we played in Red Orchestra and Armor. And Braun joined in on one of these Christmas EU4 games. He was crazy. Braun was crazy. That's the first time I meet Braun. I'm pretty sure I don't actually play with him a lot after that, but that's the first time I remember him, like, being completely as the Braun that I know today, like crazy, as you guys know him as well. And then I'm pretty sure it's around the release of HOI4 that we start playing regularly with each other, because he's also like, yeah, let me play this LARP game or something. I'm pretty sure he's gifted the game by someone, actually. I can't even remember, but he plays the game a lot, and we start playing a lot there, and that's basically when me and Braun start talking a lot together. So I guess, when did HOI4 release? 2016 or something? When HOI4 releases, that's when me and Braun start talking more together. That's essentially when we all start talking a lot more together, because we start playing HOI4. And as you know, the first HOI4 video doesn't release until 2017, so like we just play the game because we have fun, right? Not even because anybody's watching, we just like HOI4. Then there's Golden, Choking, and Peef remaining. That's not that big of a story to them. Golden's first game that he ever plays with us, I'm pretty sure, is the game where he plays Germany. I'm pretty sure you can find it. Maybe that's the first game I published with him in it. I can't actually remember, but that's the furthest I can remember back to when it is. He's playing Germany. He's surrounded. He's just a desperate defense of Berlin, and he does some stupid shit, causing his nation to flip's ideology, and the war just pieces out. That's the first time I remember Golden being there. He's one of the first people who were my fans, by the way, chat. It sounds cursed to say that because I talk so much to him now, but it is what it is. He was one of the first people to be in there, including him and Mushroom. If any of you guys remember Mushroom, some of you hopefully do. Golden and Mushroom are the first people that actually come into our Discord. Some of the first people that come into the Discord we've created back in 2017, and they are now some of the guys that you guys see as the regulars here. So then there is Choking, who's the next one. I don't actually exactly remember when Choking joins for real. I think it's 2018 he starts playing somewhat with us, but it's 2019 where he breaks through and like he gets part of the gang. I'm pretty sure maybe he's just lurking. I'm gonna need to bring Choking in for this one, won't I?
I joined one game in I guess we're doing summer 2018.
Yeah.
But I don't think I spoke.
Because I remember you started becoming a real part of everybody in 2019. That's how I remember. And you started doing the mod in 2020, right?
Yeah, the first game I was only I only hot joined. I hot joined right at the end.
Okay, yeah, because I don't remember that exactly. I just I vaguely remember you being there. Do you want to say anything to anybody that thinks you're dead?
Choking is dead, but Bro Bang is alive in Argentina, so...
There you have it, boys. I'll drag you down and steal Peef. I somewhat remember you. I'm going to go off of it, and you correct me if I'm wrong here. Okay?
Okay.
So, you're first on Schaefer Street when you play with Schaefer, right? And then at one point you get brought into a HOI game by Schaefer, right?
It was Mordhau first.
It was Mordhau first. Never made a video on it, but we played it on stream, I'm pretty sure.
But I had the loot,
Yeah. And then you were brought into a couple HOI games. And I'm pretty sure the first game you played with us was the one with Slapper with the what's it called? I'm playing games, baby. Was that the second one? I can't remember.
I don't remember that.
It's one of the first ones. It is one of... You remember him going, I'm playing games, baby, though, and you laughing your ass off. So that is one of the first ones you were there. And then afterwards, the real point where you join, that's for Call of Duty, right?
Yeah.
That's when you're real in there. All right, I got the story straight. I know what it is. Do you have anything you want to say to the people, Peef?
God, I hate you and I wish I wasn't here.
Okay, there you go. Alright, there you go. That's the origin story of Peef, Swimmy, Golden, Choking, and Braun. Also, the last question, I don't really have an opinion on that. Something that's the worst and the best change to HOI4 from an MP perspective. Performance? That's the only thing I can say there. Alright, next up we have Ryuko T72 asking another origin question, but most of these people you've already gotten your answer for. There's also IceP within this, and this one's fairly easy, because I'm pretty sure the first time I actually talked to IceP is in Veilfisk's quiz show. By the way, Veil, when you continue the quiz show, that's the first time I interact with IceP in a voice channel, I'm pretty sure. But the first time I really interact with IceP, like for real, is probably when he shows up in my Twitch chat, I'm pretty sure. And I'm playing Tarkov. I don't know if it was my first time playing or the second time. And I know who IceP is, obviously. And I'm just like, yeah, why don't you come in and join us? Buy the game and join us. And IceP's like, sure. like, I'm pretty sure it's like a minute after I've said that, he's like, all right, I bought the game. When do I come in? And ever since then, we've just really talked. So that's just how it is. Second question. What has changed over the time since you have started doing HOI4 to now? The scale, I guess, of things. There's a bunch of things that's changed, but I guess also the people. People come and go. But a lot of the guys that were regulars in the beginning are still here, but people come and go, and we get new people in. But the game itself has changed a lot. But I don't really know if a lot has changed. I don't really know what the answer to that one. I don't feel like as much has changed, but that probably is something. You guys are probably better at answering that question, honestly, because I'm the creator. You guys are the viewers here. You guys are the observers to see what is actually what has changed over time. Third question: Danish Straits defense videos when? Whenever I get my ass out there and film the bunkers. All right. Sam Siegels asks, will we ever get to see the girlfriend attempt to play with you guys on a 24-hour stream or just a game of HOI? It could be really great. She'll easily beat Golden. I doubt that'll ever happen, because I remember the stream was asking, like, stream chat was asking, how much of a donation goal I would need in order to, like, get my girlfriend on and play. And I came up with a question. I'll just ask her if $10,000 is enough, and she said no to that, so I don't think it'll ever happen, but never say never, guys. Tan Jishuan asks one question that I've already answered. Second one, what is the weirdest thing you've seen throughout your Twitch career? Probably the people still watch my Twitch channel, considering I don't read chat. And he also asks, do you ever feel burnt out from HOI4 since you play it so much? No, surprisingly not. Like, I have a lot of hours in that, thousands of hours in that, and I still very much enjoy the game. Also, 300k artillery only MP game? No. Mallardman asks, when some videos are scripted, how scripted are they, and how much are they genuine in terms of how you guys interact? Now, the thing about this is, none of my videos are scripted. We just like to play the game together, and this is what happens. Yudu asks, what would you say has been the biggest change since your YouTube/Twitch has started blowing up? Also, you used to say all the time how you weren't a Twitch streamer, but would you say that's changed, or do you still consider yourself just a YouTube editor first and foremost? I'll start by answering the last question. Yes, I still consider myself a YouTuber first. Twitch is still just a side hustle because I am a bad streamer, and that is what it is. YouTube is my main thing. What would you say is the biggest change, though? I think the fact that I can live off of it is probably the biggest change. Mitotol asks, do you talk with Swimmy Golden, Peef, and Braun, etc. outside of gaming and streaming a lot? Do you all know much about each other's daily lives, or do you have other people you hang out with? Yeah, we actually hang out on the Discord all the time. We sit in there and we talk about random shit, and everybody will yell at each other just like they do in the videos, and the record button's off. So it's not much of a change. We hang out the exact same way as we do in the HOI games as we do in the Discord. We spend a lot of hours in there. Obviously, I have IRL friends I hang out with as well, but a lot of the time spent on the Discord. Subbed Up asks, would you be willing to play Foxhole with your friends? That's going to be a big maybe. I've looked at the game, never gotten into it, maybe one day. Miguel Moreno asks, any plans to play anything outside strategy/multiplayer? For the strategy part, have you looked at my channel? There is FIFA, which is a sports game. There's Squad, there's Postscriptum, there's Hell Let Loose, there's Arma. There's plenty of shooter games out there. As for anything that's not multiplayer, maybe some story single-player games. I've done that before. You can find that on the channel too. Also, how do you avoid being burnt out from Paradox games? Because I have an interest in history and they're just really fun to play in multiplayer. Freezer04 asks, are you ever going to play SCP again? And also asks, or is there a specific reason you stopped playing the game? Alright, to get into that, SCP was a great time when we played it. We had a lot of fun in it. However, the gameplay loop got really boring after some time, and it didn't get enough updates to justify us still having fun in it. We didn't actually have fun in it in the end. It was very, like, it just felt forced, and it was just people trying to rush to win the game as fast as possible. So that it kind of starts sucking the fun out of the game, so we just stopped playing it slowly. Who knows, maybe one day we'll return, but I don't know. Omar Karim asks, what originally got you into strategy games like HOI4 and Vic 2? What is it about those games that still has you playing them after all these years? I think the first Paradox game I played, it either has to be Hearts of Iron 2 or EU3. I can't entirely remember which one came first, but I'm going to bet on it being Hearts of Iron 2, which I started playing right before the release of Hearts of Iron 3. I played it a little bit, and then HOI4 came out, and that's the one I played a lot of. I think I played like 600 or 700 hours in that game. I'm not entirely sure. I played it a lot. And then the reason is that, like, I don't know if it's EU3s because we also played EU3 Christmas campaigns back in the day, I'm pretty sure. Or otherwise, we did EU3 multiplayer games with the realism units. We also, like, me and Swimmy met and all that stuff. But I really like the idea of running your nation through historical periods. It's really cool. Plus the multiplayer aspect of it. I guess it's always been, like, I guess underneath everything, I've always had an interest in how countries act with each other and how they behave in terms of diplomacy and stuff like that. And this is a very, it can be related a little bit, but not like entirely to what I also studied before I did full-time YouTube. But still, it's pretty cool. Spider Raccoon asks, would you be willing to try a Keystria at War mod? Or have you already and I missed the stream or something? I probably won't be doing that. But never say never. Dubstereo29 asks, what was in your opinion the funniest thing that has happened while playing with everyone? Great example, the Cocter Stellaris. I don't think the Cocter one is as funny as many of you guys might think. It was funny in the moment, but like it's not one of my favorites. The Stellaris one you mentioned, however, is one of the favorite ones. The one where we completely ruined the RP game because we didn't understand how hardcore RP Broad and Swimmy wanted from that game. Me, Greg, and Mushroom completely tanked that game. But in general, I'd say most of the fun moments are, like, the very best moments are found in the videos that don't get that many views, honestly. Like, I think the non-Hoi videos have more fun moments because it allows us to unfold more in, like, games like that. But yeah, I can't really pick and choose because I think a lot of hilarious stuff has happened throughout the years. And I would seriously have to rewatch all my content in order to figure out which one's my favorite. Fiendish asks, Swimmy, Golden, and Braun walks into a deathmatch arena. Who gets to walk out alive? Golden, because he just does the windmill arms. Easy peasy. Captain Frost asks, are there any games you love but won't go over well with your audience? Well, you can see some of them on the channel, because they don't go over well with the audience. Sometimes I take a gamble sometimes and just upload to the channel. But there are games where I'm more reluctant to uploading into the channel. Like, for instance, with FIFA. I love FIFA, and also hate it, by the way. But I wanted to upload FIFA for the longest time, but I kept myself from uploading it because I was afraid it was going to kill the channel. I'm kind of in the same boat with old school RuneScape. Like, I kind of want to make an old school RuneScape video of our dumbass stuff we've been doing in it. But I don't know, first of all, if I have enough content for it, but if anyone will watch it, that's another thing. But yeah, there are games that I play that you guys will probably never see, because I know that the audience won't watch it. David Melko asks, I'd like to know what happened to the people who were in the earlier HOI4 MP videos, but stopped being in the new ones, like Vader, Pashalas, and especially Jack. Now, Vader and Pashalas are fairly easy for me to go over. I'm not going to go into it that much, so I'm just going to say some internal stuff happened, and we don't play with them anymore. Now, I don't know why you even say Jack. Like, I upload 2 to 3 videos a month where Jack's in them. So, part of me is feeling you only watch the Hoi videos here. Like, Jack's in all the other videos, almost. Like, hello? So if you want more Jack, you should go watch the other videos on the channel, like Squad, or Hell Let Loose, or Postscriptum, or Arma 3, or FIFA. Like, he's in those. RK asks, what do you think about Victoria 3 coming out, and do you have any expectations or wishes from the game to have? I am super hyped for Victoria 3 to come out. I have no specific expectations or wishes other than the game to be stable in multiplayer. That's all. Looking forward to it, guys. That guy Riverside asks, who would win in a fist fight, you or IceP? I mean, that one's pretty obvious. Have you seen the guns on IceP? I'd get beaten the fuck up. Well, me and IceP would never fight. Winks at IceP. R&D asks, do you currently live in Denmark? Have you ever thought of moving to another country, be it in the EU or even another continent? Why? I currently live in Denmark, and I think I've said this before, that if I could have chosen to be born in another country, I would have been born in Norway. That is the only other country I would ever have been born in that could have been better where I was born. That's just my opinion on it. Seeing as I was born in Denmark, and Denmark's a pretty good place in my opinion, I don't ever think I'll move out of Denmark. I am living such a cozy life in my little socialist welfare state, as you Americans will be like, oh no! Potato Killer asks, are you going to do a meme game once the Soviet Union update comes out? Probably. We usually do that. So yeah, I'd say probably. 90% sure. Tom Morrison asks, when are more full episodes of HOI4 Multiplayer coming out? I love them. They are always hilarious and chaotic. The full HOI4 episodes have been cancelled on this channel for almost a year at this point, because I kept demanding they need to get over 40,000 views within 24 hours, and at one point they stopped doing that, so I just cancelled them, and I'm just uploading other ththings instead now. So yeah, that's it. They're just cancelled. They're probably not coming back. Maybe one day if I get lazy. On top of that question, I think the next one's really relevant. Bo Cohen 1 Stream Archive asks, are you subscribed to the Bo Cohen 1 Stream Archive channel? And yes, I am. Are you guys? Are you guys actually subscribed to the channel? Because you should go and subscribe. This is a guy running a stream archive channel for me where you can watch full VODs from my stream. So there you go. You should go subscribe to that channel. If you're a full episode enjoyer, that's the closest you're gonna get. Black Scottish Cyclops asks, have you considered vlogging with the boys? If Peef is as funny IRL as he is in the Swedish map game, I'd love that kind of episode. Not sure if I'll ever vlog with Peef. It's all up to if he wants to join or not, but there's a vlog out there with Golden, something there with IceP and Remy, and we were planning on having a vlog ready for you guys from Japan, from our Japan trip we had just before COVID locked down the world, but we didn't really get enough footage considering COVID locked down the world. So yeah, there are plans, but we'll see if you guys are still interested in us whenever we're allowed to travel again. Bob Nutzilla asks, your name, is it meant to be a combination of the name Bo and the word Cohen, the cow, or did it just sound neat? That's actually a funny story, because yes, it is meant to be a combination of Bo and the word Cohen, which means the cow. Because in Danish, Bo, Ko, rhymes a little with each other, and when I had to create my first username for whatever it was, whatever website or game it was back then, I couldn't come up with something, and my sister came up with the idea of, why don't you just, like, take the jokes head on before they even happen, and create a username called Bo Cohen. If you take the joke head on, a lot of times people won't even care about it. They won't even care to joke about it because you're ruining the joke already. So the name Bo Cohen is my sister's creation. Bowser Communist asks, if YouTube wasn't a thing, what did you plan to do for your career? Well, when I uploaded the first HOI4 MP in a nutshell in 2017 and the channel started taking off, I was studying a master's degree in international relations. I already had a bachelor in political science, and I continued to study the master's degree until I think it was mid-2018, or was it 2019? I can't remember. So there came a point where the combined revenue of YouTube and Twitch was equivalent to what I would make when I was done with my master's degree, and I was like, you know what? This master's degree can wait. I can always do this another time. I can't do YouTube another time. But yeah, I don't really know what I was planning on being. I just had an interest in international relations, and I'd love to have been a diplomat of some kind. Like, not necessarily an ambassador or foreign minister, but to work in an embassy or whatever, really. That would have been really cool. And then he also asked, is there any moment or meme you can think of that is underrated/underappreciated? I don't really know any of the FIFA videos or any of the non-Paradox game videos that don't get a lot of views. I usually think they're underappreciated because we have a lot of fun on them. Eric Frey asks, will you ever play more Empire at War? Tons of mods to keep the game interesting. I've never really been that much interested in the mods of Empire at War, I'll be honest with you. I just like playing the base game. I think it looks cool. The only problem with the base game is that it had a lot of desyncs. Obviously, they fixed a lot of this when it came on Steam and they revived it. But at the end of the day, I am not sure if we'll ever return. Maybe one day me and Braun will sit down and try it out again. But at the moment, I think the biggest chance of us reviving that series is if Empire War 2 comes out, because that would be really cool. Please make an Empire War 2, guys. Weekend asks, what would you say the pecking order is in BoBG? Who is at the top and who is at the bottom when it comes to, in a fun way, bullying each other? Okay, we all bully each other to a degree, but I'm going to just take the ones who get bullied the most, and I'm going to sort them in order, and I'm going to say who gets bullied the most first, okay? So in my opinion, I think Golden gets the most shit. But he also does a lot of dumb shit that he deserves to get bullied. Now, the second place, it varies a lot here, because Golden is always the one who gets bullied the most, I think. Whenever he's in the room, he's the one who gets bullied. If he's not in the room, then I think it would be me, Swimmy, or Thomas. Like, it's one of the three here, because Thomas gets clowned a fuck ton. Like, we literally have a saying that if you say something that someone else said, like, 30 seconds ago, or 5 minutes ago, or 10 minutes ago, or anyone saying it prior to you, you did it Thomas, because Thomas did it a couple times, and sometimes the shit he says, like, he asked us to play Hell Let Loose like 3 or 4 times, and now whenever we see Hell Let Loose, we just go, Hell Let Loose, guys, Hell Let Loose. So yeah, he's up there, he gets bullied too. Then there's Swimmy, he gets bullied because he says a lot of stupid shit, like, you've seen it in the videos. He says a lot of stupid fucking shit. Like, more shit than you have seen in the videos and streams. He says a lot of stupid shit that he gets clowned for. So he's also on the same tier. And then I am also on the same tier, because I constantly get clowned because I put Denmark up as the best country in the world, and I constantly refer to Denmark, and they constantly go, oh, so in Denmark, like the whole Denmark meme that they have going on with me, I get bullied a fuck ton in there, because they're constantly like, Denmark. You saw the EU4 video, that was literally the peaking of me, because under the European Cup of football in the summer, I was just like, oh, Denmark gonna win the tournament, and then they just they clown me for it, because I do talk about Denmark quite a lot, and I say Denmark is the best country in the world, and I constantly refer to Denmark whenever something happens in the world, like with COVID that's bad, I'm just like, yeah, well, in Denmark we do this, and they all just fucking clown me for it, and I think I've personally made them all hate every single Danish person on earth. So yeah, I get clowned quite a lot too, and bullied. Yeah, I think those are the top 4 people who get bullied. Obviously, everyone gets bullied at some points. Cameron O asks, what do you like to do outside of Paradox strategy games and streaming in general? I like playing games. Like, I play a shit ton of old school RuneScape at the moment. I play other games too, as you can also see on the channel, but obviously some don't show up on the channel. I love watching football. I'm a Juventus fan, if you didn't know that. Not that it's going too well for them at the moment. Looks into the camera. I watch anime. Phil asks, what does your family think about your job as a YouTuber and streamer? Now they think it's pretty cool. In the beginning, they were like, yeah, you need to pack the video games away, Bo. You need to get a real job. But again, things change when you actually see money come into your bank account. So as soon as I started making what is the equivalent of a job with a master's degree, then they were completely fine with it. Yilmaz asks, hey, Bo, I was wondering if you're going to do the podcast like you mentioned some time ago. Probably at one point, whenever I get my ass around to it. I am just lazy and busy and all the excuses I can come up with. I don't know. But one day, probably. This has actually been kind of a podcast, hasn't it, chat? If this does well, maybe this could be it. This is me doing a podcast on this, but obviously, if we did a podcast, it would be more than just me. David P. asks, do some games feel like a job to do, or are they all fun to play? Only sometimes if there is a sponsored game that I figure out after I've accepted the sponsorship, this probably wasn't as fun as I thought it would be. But that's usually with new releases, so I wouldn't know if they were fun to play in the beginning. But most of the time, I very much enjoy the game I play. However, with editing the HOI videos, if I just may bring it over to not playing the game, sometimes editing the HOI videos and the country balls and shit like that is not fun, because it is a lot of doing the same over and over and over and over and over and over. So that usually feels like a job, but hell, you gotta make your money, right? But playing HOI4 is awesome. That doesn't feel like a job at all. USSSC asks, do you find YouTube to be a sustainable career, and are you planning on doing this for the rest of your life? Well, I'm planning on doing this for as long as you guys want to watch, so I'll answer that last part first there. Whether or not I find it sustainable, that depends on how long you guys plan on watching, and if I can get a job that has a relation to what YouTube was, like when the inevitable day comes, the one day nobody will watch the YouTube channel anymore. Maybe I can get some job as a social media manager somewhere or something. I don't know. Or otherwise, I'll go back to my studying of international relations. Who knows? Kyle Daniel asks, which Girls and Panzer characters would you have in your harem?
Prefer really not to speak. If I speak, I am in big trouble. In big trouble. And I don't want to be in big trouble.
Broadskin N asks, how did Braun get out of the ball pit at McDonald's during TwitchCon? He never did. He's still in the ball pit. CMDR Garbage asks what happened in Swimmy's life to become the way he is. Something is clearly wrong with him. He fell down a hill while he was pissing while he was drunk, and his foreskin got caught on a branch and he lost it. That's why. Toothpaste asks, what is your stance on pickles? They should be removed from all McDonald's burgers. They are the devil's creation. Eric Lupke asks, how many languages do you speak? And if you had to forget one, which would you forget? Well, I speak English. Jeg kan også snakke dansk. Und ich spreche ein bisschen Deutsch, aber nicht viele. If I had to forget one, I guess it would be German because I don't speak it very well. And considering I live in Denmark, I want to keep Danish, and English is the international language, so... FNL Ficron asks, if you had to rate everyone from 1 to 10 on complaining and making excuses, who would be 1 and who would be 10? So I'm assuming a 10 is who complains and makes excuses the most, and 1 is the one who does it the least. I'm pretty sure the one who would be complain the most and therefore be the 10 would be Golden. I'm pretty sure most of the guys would agree with me on this one. The one who complains the least would probably either be Schaefer or Abra. That's my guess. Cringeboy66 Kringus asks, imagine there is 2 T-55s. First T-55 is operated by IceP, College, Schaefer, and Golden. Second T-55 is operated by Braun, Swimmy, Dankis, and Peef. Who would win in a tank fight? Now this one's pretty easy because the second tank has Peef and Dankis in it, and Peef would end up killing Dankis before the match even started, so they're already a man down, so the second tank would lose. Alright, so we just about hit 33 minutes on that one. I kind of wanted to make this a 30-minute video, but we went 3 minutes over, and I feel like I went over quite a bunch of questions there. There are a lot more questions. As I said, there were over 800 comments when I started clipping them, and I think I ended up clipping about 80 comments I wanted to answer, but as I started answering them, I realized it was going to take a lot longer and I wouldn't be able to fit in 80 questions in there unless I speed ran them, but I kind of wanted to answer the questions properly. Well, some of them, obviously. Some of the troll ones, I just answer troll. You get what you get. Yeah, but I hope you guys enjoyed the answers and you guys can live with them. I don't know when I'll do a Q&A again. At this pace, I'll probably be at 400k in like 3 years from now or something, so that could be pretty good, like, for another Q&A, maybe then. Otherwise, if you're interested in asking questions or anything like that, you can always just pop over to the stream and maybe I'll answer the question there, who knows. But yeah, at the end of the day, guys, I'd just like to say thank you very much to all of you guys who have subscribed to the channel. We are now at 300k, that's a huge milestone. I never thought that was going to be possible, and I hope you'll stick with the channel for the time being. And I have nothing else to say than thank you guys so much for all the love you've shown for all the years, and I hope to continue to make videos for you. See you for the next upload. Bye bye.